It all started with a simple text, an innocent enough request, but one that instantly tied a knot in my stomach. I was on the Danfo, stuck in IKEA traffic, the familiar chaos of Lagos swirling around me. My phone buzzed, and there it was from Amaka, Omo, Tunde, you boys group chat. How far? Add me mad. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. Add her? To our sacred space. My mind raced, trying to make sense of it. Why now? Why so suddenly? This was not just any girl, this was Amaka. And our story? Well, that was a whole different kind of Lagos traffic. Our group chat, the brotherhood of banter, was legendary. It was Chitty, Femi, and me. We would been together since university days at Unilag, sharing everything from exam stress to late-night suya runs at Yaba Underbridge. It was our sanctuary, a place for unfiltered gist, for lamenting generator wahala, for celebrating small wins. We built that chat over years, a digital extension of our real-life brotherhood. It was raw, it was real, and it was undeniably ours. Then there was Amaka. We met at a campus event 3 years ago, her laugh bright enough to cut through the din of any Lagos party. There was an instant spark, a connection that crackled. We would hang out, talk for hours, our bodies always leaning just a little too close. Everyone saw it. Our friends, their friends, even strangers. But I always pulled back. Commitment felt like a cage, and our thing remained undefined, a beautiful, confusing mess. A mixed bag, you could say. She was always there, a constant shadow of what if. Her initial suggestions were subtle, almost playful. Ah, you boys are always cooking up gist there. Oh, she would say, a sly smile playing on her lips after I would mention something Chitty said in the chat. Una no go add me make, I hear wedding day happen. I would laugh it off. Wedding you on, come do inside men's business? It was easy to deflect then. It felt like a joke, a light-hearted poke at the boundaries we had, a subtle acknowledgement of the invisible lines she wanted to cross. But lately, the playfulness had turned into something more insistent. A few weeks ago, she would call, sounding almost desperate. Tunde, I beg, just add me for that group. Your friends like me. Nah, I go, just, they observe. The line crackled, and I could hear the faint hum of a generator in the background, a familiar Lagos night sound. Her voice held a plea I had not heard before. It was not just curiosity, it felt like a need. And that is when the knot in my stomach tightened. What was she really after? I brought it up with Chidi and Femi during our weekly Friday night hangout at a local buka in IKEA. Amaka de Vex say I know. Add her for our chat, I mumbled, picking at my suya. Chidi just shrugged. Omo, wet'n be the big deal? Amaka fine, she gets sense. We no get problem with her. Femi nodded, chewing on a piece of plantain. Yeah, she cool. She been follow us go OAU reunion last year, nah. Just add her Tunde, no wahala. Their nonchalance made me feel stupid, like I was making a mountain out of a molehill. But it was not a molehill for me. A few days later, we all ended up at a birthday party and Surulaire burst. Amaka was there, of course. She drifted effortlessly between my friends, laughing at Chida's jokes, discussing a new Afrobeats track with Femi. She knew their quirks, their interests. She was charming, engaging. I watched her, a weird mix of pride and apprehension swirling inside me. Was she genuinely trying to build a connection with them, or was this a calculated move to integrate into my world? Her easy charm felt like a performance, and I was the audience she was playing to. I have always been a private person, especially with my emotions. The friend group was my safe haven. Adding Amaka felt like inviting the Lagos Lagoon into my living room. More than that, I was scared. Scared of what her presence would expose about us. Scared of what it would force me to confront about my own feelings. I knew I had feelings for her, deep ones, but acknowledging them meant stepping into the unknown, into a commitment I was not sure I was ready for. Was this her way of forcing my hand? Our mixed bag moments were frequent. One rainy evening, she would call, her voice soft, asking if I was home. She came over, and we just sat on my couch in my small Yaba apartment, listening to the rain on the zinc roof. We talked about everything and nothing. Her hand brushed mine, and for a second, the world stood still. The air was thick with unspoken words. Then, as quickly as it came, the moment passed. She left, and I was left with that familiar ache of proximity without possession. The next day, a fresh message from Amaka. Not a request this time, but a statement. I saw you left the group chat on read when Chidi was talking about our trip to Ibadan. If I was there, I would have added my own 2 cents. It was a playful jab, but the undertone was clear. She was not just asking anymore, she was subtly asserting her right to be there. There! Her persistence was not backing down. It was a slow, steady push, and I felt the walls of my carefully constructed comfort zone beginning to crumble. Finally, I gave in. One afternoon, while scrolling idly, a sigh escaped me. I opened the Brotherhood of Banter chat, tapped Add Member, searched for Amaka's contact, and hit Send. A tiny notification popped up. Amaka has joined the group. I felt a strange mix of relief and dread. What had I done? Would our dynamic change forever? Would my sanctuary be invaded, or would it simply expand? I threw my phone onto the bed, then went to make myself a strong cup of coffee. This was either a genius move or a terrible mistake. At first, it was fine. More than fine, actually. Amaka was a natural. She would jump into discussions with witty remarks, send funny memes, and even organize a virtual game night. The boys loved her. See? Told you she would be a vibe. Chidi texted me privately, a triumphant emoji attached. I watched her contributions, feeling like a stranger in my own space. She was not just observing, she was participating, leading. She was becoming an integral part of our group, and a part of me felt a twinge of something I could not quite name. Was it jealousy or just confusion? The turning point came during a heated debate about a local football match. Chidi and Femi were playfully arguing about Enyimba versus Remo Stars. Amaka jumped in not just with her opinion, but with a deep knowledge of stats and player histories, something she would never shown me before. Then she used an inside joke, a silly nickname Femi had for Chidi, which was strictly an us thing. It was not malicious, but it felt borrowed. Like she was trying too hard, or maybe not trying at all, because it just came to her naturally. That night, I went for a drive, letting the night air of Lagos cool my head. I ended up at a quiet spot overlooking the city from Ikoiling Bridge. My mind was a whirlwind. Her insistence, her charm, her effortless integration. It was not about the group chat at all, was it? It was about me. She was not trying to invade my space. She was trying to bridge the gap between us, using my friends as a Trojan horse. She wanted to be so intertwined with my life that I could not ignore her or us anymore. The next day, I called Amaka. I did not beat around the bush. Why did you really want to join the group chat? I asked, my voice steady but my heart pounding like a talking drum. There was a pause, a long, heavy silence. Then a sigh, soft and almost defeated. Because you would not let me in, Tunde. Not fully. You always keep a distance. I thought if I was closer to your friends, if I was part of that inner circle, maybe I could be closer to you too. Her voice was laced with an unexpected vulnerability. Her words hit me like a splash of cold water. It was not about ownership or manipulation. It was about connection. It was about a yearning for something more concrete, something I had always kept at arm's length. I had been so focused on my own fears, my own boundaries, that I had not seen her genuine desire to simply be a part of my life, in whatever way she could. My chest tightened with a mix of regret and a strange, hopeful warmth. She had not been invading my space. She would be knocking on my heart's door, and the only way she knew how. Amaka, I started, my voice softer now. I never saw it that way. The silence returned, this time not heavy but expectant. Maybe it is time we stopped using the group chat as a go-between, I continued. Maybe it is time we figured out what us really means without all the unspoken rules. It was not an easy conversation. It was raw, honest, and terrifying. But for the first time in 3 years, it felt like we were finally talking about us, not just our friends or the weather or the latest Lagos gist. Amaka stayed in the group chat. And yes, it changed the dynamic, but not in the way I feared. It opened up a new chapter, not just for her and my friends, but for her and me. We started going on proper dates, navigating the busy streets of Lagos, from fancy restaurants in Victoria Island to a quiet evening at the National Theatre. The mixed bag started to make sense, slowly, beautifully. Her presence in my life and in my friend group became less about her insistence and more about a quiet, steady belonging. Sometimes the biggest leaps of faith are not grand gestures, but simply opening a door. Or, in my case, adding someone to a WhatsApp group. What started as a confusing invasion became an unexpected invitation. An invitation to confront my fears, to define the undefinable, and to finally let someone into not just my friend group, but the deepest parts of my heart. In Lagos, amidst the constant hustle and bustle, sometimes clarity comes in the most unexpected messages, leading you to the love you never fully acknowledged.